Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending. I see many familiar names, no faces, but I do know what you guys look like. I appreciate you attending. If you don't mind, in the chat, just mention, where you're from. That helps us in a couple areas, not only, especially with this product, we know maybe if you're in an area that is deregulated. I see Michigan. Wow, Clearwater. Hey, Paula, how are you? Um, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Great. It also lets us know that you can hear me. So that's always important, especially in today's technical kind of arena and some of us being more fluent in it than others. But it's good to know you guys can hear me. Hudson Valley, New York. It's great. Dallas, Texas. All right. Scottsdale. I miss Scottsdale, except in the hot weather. While everyone is chatting in there where you're from, and again, still getting settled, I just want to say thank you for attending. My name is Eddie Alberty. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships. I typically work in the partner store area, marketplace, and that allows me to do a lot of business development for the company and meet new partners to help us all earn IBV. And I say us all because I'm a fellow unfranchised owner as well, proudly, I must say. And we've got a few unfranchised owners on our panel tonight as well. And the reason why we're doing so is because this product we feel like is a great product. We just don't feel like enough people know about it and are aware of it. And what better people to have speak about it that are actual customers that also happen to be unfranchised owners. So not only from a customer experience, they can also speak to earning rewards and IBV specifically. So Xoom Energy is a valued partner that we have. They're actually located in North Carolina, and we've had a relationship for quite some time now. It took us a while to kind of get this service or product live, and but I'm really excited about it. I believe in it. I think it's something that everyone uses, so it's one of those why nots. Why wouldn't you use it? And also, why wouldn't you expose it to customers that you have or family members that you have? Even if you're in you're in a state that's regulated, but people across the country. So don't box it into just you as an individual or where you're located, because the opportunities, and more states are becoming deregulated as we do this webinar tonight. So without further ado, I'll kind of shut up, but I want to welcome Vince Nicolette, who's also a Xoom Energy team member and also a friend and somebody I've worked with quite a bit. So we'll just jump right into it. We will be doing Q&A at the end. So use either the chat or the Q&A feature and tee up any questions you may have, and I'll try to answer them as we're going along, or at the end, we'll do it verbally. And the importance of that is so at the end, we have a recorded webinar that you can go back and listen to or share with people in your group that maybe couldn't attend. So again, thank you for attending. We know time is very valuable. We want to jump right to it, but I also feel like it's something important that not enough people know about. So thank you for attending, and we'll get right to it. So Vince, take it away.
Thank you, Eddie. And as Eddie had mentioned, him and I have gone through thick and thin, but finally got everything rolling the way it should. So thank you, Eddie, for everything. I also have my partner here, Jackie, from Xoom Energy. She's also here to go ahead and answer any questions that I might not know, which is a lot probably, but so thank you, Jackie, for being here. And
hey, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Absolutely. And over the past few months, I got to know Russell, Stephen, and Lou. They're great individuals, heard their stories. Thank you so much for being here, being part of the panelists here to also help us answer some questions that we're not familiar with coming from Market America or Shop. So thank you for joining us, and all of you, thank you for taking the time to be with us and learn a little more about who Xoom Energy is and what we have to offer. So what I'd like to do first is kind of introduce you to who Xoom Energy is. We actually Started business a little over 10 years ago, and we celebrated our 10th year anniversary. I believe it was July 28th of this year. But in some short years, we've actually received a bunch of awards, which you can see here in 2015. We actually made the Inc. 500 list as the 13th fastest growing private energy retailer. I'm sorry, the 13th overall fastest growing private company and the number one fastest growing private energy retailer, which, just making a list, I think is awesome. But to be 13th overall and number one in the energy sector is amazing there. Then the following year, and also in 2018, we were named the Energy Retailer of the Year, which another great award that comes right from the Energy Board. And also we have a A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. I think we, as all companies do, we all strive to get this A+ rating here because it really shows character and good business for the company there. And one that I'm kind of really proud of too is we have the largest consumer footprint of any other energy retailer in the US. That means that we actually touch more people than any other retailer out there. So if you want to be able to go ahead and get your friends and family with Xoom Energy, you got the right company there. So just a little history there on Xoom. And Jackie, feel free to butt in and say anything that maybe I'm missing here. I know you and I have done these so many times.
Just a few times. Just a few times.
Just a
The
few
one thing I
times.
just always like to point out is, the A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We understand that we're an extension of your business. And when you're talking to folks, you're talking to people that trust you. And so we want you to feel very confident that you're selling a product that you can feel good about. So that's why, we've got a whole team of folks sitting back in North Carolina who work hard each and every day, whether it's the billing department, customer care, IT, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that you, as a UFO, and your customers have a really good experience from beginning to end. So that's why we take that one really seriously. And Vince is going to show you guys in a minute our actual footprint and where we're located. And one of the questions we always get from folks who maybe are not as familiar with energy choice and deregulation is, why aren't you everywhere? And we can't be everywhere, but we want to be as many places as we can. And that's why when we launched the company 10 years ago, our goal was to get into every market that we could as quickly as we could, because we do sell through channel partners and we want to make sure that you guys have as much opportunity as possible. So we feel confident when we say we have the largest footprint because nobody else really goes into every state like we have. So usually people are focused in different areas. But like I said, we wanted to be everywhere. And I think I probably just stole Vince's thunder. So I'm going to be quiet.
No,
now.
not at all. You always do phenomenal, Jackie. Please feel free to just push me aside anytime. But yeah, we actually back in 2011 started in California offering only natural gas. And through the 10 plus years, we are in every single deregulated state in the US, plus Washington, DC. And as you can see there, we can actually service over 80 million customers. So there's a lot of customers that you can get there to earn your IBV or BV, which I'm not too familiar with. And that's something I think that Eddie's gonna talk to about later in this slide or in these slides here. But as new states do deregulate, which is not really up to us, the energy retailers, it's up to the individuals who live in that state. They're the ones who need to sign petitions, give it to their congressman, which later needs to go on a ballot. It's got to get voted. Right now, I think there's some activity going on in Florida and in Arizona, but nothing that we can really brag about and say that, yes, it's going to deregulate. But those are the only two areas that we're kind of hearing some noise from.
Vince, on this the graph, I see it has a lot of counties or providers listed, and so I mean that means that even though a state's lit up, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are able to support that particular entire state. It's certain providers. How does that work?
Yeah, great question there, Russell. Yeah, as a matter of fact, just because we're in that state, it doesn't mean that we cover that state all four corners, right? There's certain utilities within those states that are deregulated, that offer choice. And those are the utilities that we actually deal with. There are, like, in great example in Indiana, there's only one utility in Indiana, and that's NIPSCO, which is, I believe, the northwest corner, right underneath Chicago, is the only area that we can service. But it's Indiana, so we got Indiana colored on the map there. So, but yes, it's all up to the utilities whether or not they want to offer choice to their customers. And for me, I can't think of why choice is not good, right? I mean, imagine just having one car dealership, one grocery store, one gas station on the corner, one fruit market. So we'll just, as again, states do open up in utilities, we'll be there in line getting our license. Thank you, Russell, for that question. So who do we service? We actually have a product and plan for just about anyone there. Any friend or family member that that owns a home or rents an apartment, we can definitely service them in those areas that I showed you earlier. And for right now, any small business, your local dry cleaners down the street, the restaurant you visit always, the little fruit market that you go to, all those people that you deal business should be actually doing business with you. That's why I always say, which, is on the next couple of slides there, but you want to do business with people who do business with you. So why energy there? Well, it's actually a service that everyone uses. I ask a question at times like, who out there actually burns wood to heat their home or cook their food? And everywhere I go, nobody, well, actually there was one time where someone raised their hand, but he goes, I have a fireplace. No, I'm talking about you don't have any gas or electricity in your home, not you have a fireplace, right? But nobody raises their hand, right? It's a service that everybody uses, right? So it's not something that you're trying to give them that they don't need or don't use, right? And there's absolutely no equipment to buy. There's no interruption in service. It's a seamless switch. All they do is once they enroll, they'll get a flow start date that we actually then go out and purchase the natural gas or electricity on the open market there. The utilities, since they actually own the infrastructure, they're going to go ahead and still deliver that natural gas or electricity to your home. The only thing that'll change is that Xoom is actually purchasing that supply portion for you.
Vince, one of the things that I think people worry about is the fact that, what happens if there was a power failure and who's going to take care of me and all that. And I've been through this process twice, one other time, and now with Xoom. And it's a very easy deal. It's seamless as you have on the slide. But this is one of the things in life you do not have to worry about.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, was there more that you were going to say there, or?
No, that's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you know what? Power does go out. When power goes out, since the utilities own the infrastructure, they own the power lines and the gas pipes, you call them. The only thing that Xoom Energy does for you is we go out there and we try to buy the electricity and natural gas for the cheapest price that we can and have it stored. So when it's time to deliver it to your home, it's there waiting to be delivered. So yes, you always contact the utility. All right. So earlier I said, why Xoom Energy, right? And I said, do business with the people that, or have the people that you do business with do business with you. It's an extension of your business. When you started with Market America shop.com there, you're actually building a business, right? So what you want to do is you want to have people that you're helping their business, have them help your business, right? And Xoom Energy is a product where when your customers enroll, when they choose, which I believe it was either Russell or Steven that told me a story about, one of them was on a variable plan, switched over. I'll have them kind of speak to that. But once you enroll,
It was me. I signed up just about a year ago, and I got on the fixed rate plan. I made out much better than, my neighbors who were on variable rates and had their electricity bill go up quite a bit. And so that was very beneficial for me to be locked in on that lower rate. And so I definitely enjoyed not only getting a fixed price, but also knowing I'm getting IBV in the process. So that was a double win for me.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I was gonna mention. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I had the other situation
All right, Stephen.
where I started with a variable rate. And I watched it relatively closely. And when I got to the point where I'm not comfortable with this anymore, I called Xoom instantly and was switched in immediately to a flat rate plan. It was that easy. So it wasn't like stuck in something forever. So I appreciated the service.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, there's people who, really don't want to be locked in a contract. You're like, okay, yeah, I got to be locked in there. But you know what? It's price certainty, right? So when you sign up on a fixed plan at 10 cents a kilowatt hour, that's what you're going to be paying, based on how much usage you are. Your bill's going to fluctuate, but it's going to be at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. It's not going to, if there's a big demand and prices skyrocket, no, you're still going to be at 10 cents for that period of time. But if they, just want to see who Xoom Energy is, well, you know what? We also have intro plans out there for a couple of billing cycles, maybe even 3 billing cycles, where your customers can actually go on there, experience the service of Xoom Energy for those 2 or 3 months, and then after that can actually switch the way Stephen did. And you don't even have to call in, Stephen. You can actually just go right on the marketamerica.zoomenergy.com site, and where it says my account, right there, you just press that, and it gives you all options in there. You want to renew, you want to upgrade, and that's an upgrade that you did from a month to month to a fixed plan. But it's that simple, right? So that way their price certainty, they know that regardless whatever happens in the weather or demand, their price will stay at that rate that they actually enrolled on or upgraded to. So yeah, it's an extension of your business. Customers will have a choice of plans and pricing, and a bunch of rewards and offers. For example, we have the loyalty program called Xoom Extras, where they actually earn points just for being a customer, right? They can also go on there and play games, participate in social media to earn more points and redeem those at movie theaters and restaurants for gift cards. There's over a 500,000 locations and products that they can redeem for those Xoom Extra points. And of course, auto bill pay and budget billing. So anyway, here's where I think I want Eddie to kind of jump in, because this is the homepage of the unfranchised owner.
So both, again, this is Eddie, both on shop.com and unfranchise, we worked really hard with the Xoom team to provide a landing page that had all the information or most of the information that you needed to understand what the opportunity was, what the value proposition was. And on shop, we spent really an extra amount of time because we wanted to be able to feel comfortable that if you were to refer a family member, a friend, a next door neighbor, someone that's in a different state, but in a deregulated state, but you wanted to feel confident that if they went to that page, it represented well. And it also converted, it gave them enough information to get that click through to go over to Xoom Energy to, potentially sign up as a customer. On unfranchise, and we're going to get into this, but one of the things that we're looking to add, it's coming soon, it'll be just in the next few days, is you'll see there's some messaging on this page that you won't see right now today if you go to your unfranchised site. But basically, it's just messaging about accreditation. And Vince will cover that. But in short, we need people, customers, unfranchised owners to go ahead and do this accreditation, because what it does is, energy is a regulated commodity, if you will, and they have to make sure that people that are out there that are talking about it are doing so in the right way. And we want to adhere to those guidelines and make sure that, we're in alignment and not doing anything that we're not supposed to. And what it does is allows you as the unfranchised owner to have multiple customers, multiple sales, and you can just expose it to everybody. If you don't do the accreditation, it stops you after one. You kind of get one free pass, if you will. And I'll let Vince go into that. But this page, and it scrolls down pretty far. I encourage you to go there, if nothing else, just to check it out on either Unfranchise or on Shop, because that's where your customers will go. But it talks about the deregulated states. It talks about choice. I mean, it's really a good representation, in my opinion. But we don't get enough people there. So I encourage you to go ahead and go there, look at it. If you feel like that this is something that you can expose and talk to other people about, go ahead and do the accreditation. It's literally a blip on a screen. It doesn't take much time at all, but it is something that we would need to do. So
I would go a step further and say, even if you don't think you'll ever talk to anybody about it,
yeah,
go and do the accreditation so that if it ever comes up, you're ready.
yeah, good point, Russell. And that's the other thing too, is no one wants to miss out on IBV, and 6% IBV. And I want to emphasize two things. Number one, it's monthly. So it's recurring each and every month. 6% IBV monthly. And of course, recurring, and that volume, flows upwards and everyone's getting credit for it.
Eddie Lou here. Can you hear me okay?
I can, Lou. Thank
Yep.
you.
The question I had for you was based on that 6% monthly IBV. Do you have to be accredited to get that?
You do not. Only the accreditation only deals with being able to expose it to more people. After you have the one sale, yourself, you're a customer, and let's say that you referred Bob down the street and he went there, he's not actually going to be able to sign up until you do the accreditation. So you don't want to prevent that from happening. You want your customers and to be able to go on there with no problem.
So if somebody goes onto my shop.com site and tries to sign up for Xoom Energy, they wouldn't be able to? Based on the
You have
fact-
not done the accreditation. That's correct. It will hit, it pops up an error message, but I feel like that a lot of times they don't even know what that is. So it's
Right.
really on the unfranchised owner to do this accreditation. I did it. It literally took me about 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe.
Right.
But then I don't have that to worry about anymore. And we're putting in a mechanism in place as well to send an email out directly to you, the unfranchised owner, once you have that one sale, whether it's you or whether it's a customer of yours that signs up. Once you have that one sale, we're going to trigger an email to you to notify you that, hey, you better do this accreditation or you're not going to be able to have any future sales. We also put this messaging here that you'll see on the slide. It's a little small, but down there where it says earn up to 6% IBV, it talks about that accreditation, and there's a link right there. But I feel like we can't communicate it enough. The email, we know people may miss the email, so we want to have it on this page, and vice versa. We want to notify people when they've had that one sale. But that's why these webinars and word of mouth, utilizing you guys who are field leaders and customers to tell other people, we just want to make sure that people go ahead and do the accreditation. That will eliminate any confusion or any hurdles, if you will.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And no one should be afraid of the accreditation. It's really just an informative webinar to make sure that you know what the things we're allowed to say and we can't say. We don't want to get anybody in trouble, and the accreditation process just exposes us to what the proper way to talk about this product is.
Right. We want to maintain that A+ rating with the BBB, right? So, yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Eddie, there. Yes, the whole purpose of getting accredited, as Eddie mentioned, so you don't prevent any other future individuals who want to enroll with Xoom Energy and prevent them from enrolling, right? It's and just because you're not in a state that's not deregulated yet, I'm sure all of us know someone in the 19 states in Washington, D.C. That might be interested in helping your business out, right? And looking into Xoom Energy and see if there's a plan out there for them. And again, once they enroll, that's it. They're done. They don't have to go back there the following month and enroll again. No, they enrolled, and you continue to go ahead and receive this IBV month after month as long as they remain a Xoom Energy customer. So it's a one-time thing. Reach out to your friends and family and just say, hey, we have a new product, right? It's on my unfranchised site. Make sure you send them to your site. That way you actually receive credit. But let me go through the accreditation process just so everyone understands. Again, in order, Eddie said you get one free pass. You get one free pass for electricity and one free pass for gas, right? So didn't say that right. Pass gas. Okay. So one free pass for gas and electricity. But after that, it actually does air you out should any of your friends or family members or even individuals who shop on your site see the energy logo there and go on there, they will not be able to enroll. So what you do is on that home page, you'll see that link. You click on that home page or go right here to market-america.xoomenergyhub.com. All you do is you enter your UFO number and a password, and make sure that you jot that down in case you got to come back in again. You'll go through this online training, which I believe, Eddie, you said it takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes at most. Make sure you do, make sure that you pay attention because there are going to be a few simple questions just to make sure that you were listening there, right? And for example, who do you call in case there's an outage, right? You don't call Xoom Energy, you got to call the utility, right? Simple questions like that that you have to get at least 80% on to pass. And then, of course, adhere to the code of conduct. And you're actually just about done, but not quite. And I'll tell you why. Once you finish that, you'll come to this member summary page. If you know individuals in New York, Ohio, Rhode Island, or Delaware, you need to create a badge. What a badge is having a headshot of yourself, and you just upload it and you print it out. That's it. You're done. In Illinois, actually, and Connecticut, this was a state order that came directly from them. That in Illinois, if you're referring customers there, you have to come back and go through this training every 6 months. In Connecticut, you only have to come back one time if you're referring customers in Connecticut. You got to come back one time and go through approximately 10 to 15 minute live webinar, and then you're done in Connecticut. So creating a badge in those 4 states, going through a training in Illinois every 6 months, and in Connecticut, one additional training above and beyond going through this accreditation process. So how do you go ahead and start an enrollment? Once you come to the home page of the Market America Xoom Energy site, all you do is you enter a zip code, and it'll bring up the actual utilities that we offer. Like in Illinois here, we offer electricity and natural gas. And when you click on one, it'll actually ask you, do you want to go ahead and enroll in both? So that way it transfers your information, like name, address, all that, onto the, if you clicked on electricity, it'll transfer it on the gas enrollment. The only thing you would have to do there is just go ahead and put in your account number there. Once you go ahead and you choose a plan, you'll actually go ahead and just answer a few questions, put in some whatever we're looking for as far as the account number, address, etc. Make sure that your customers always have a bill in front of them because a lot of people tend that they know the actual account numbers by heart, but then they might fat finger a number, etc. So make sure that they always have their bill. Adhere to these. Once they go ahead and click submit, they'll go ahead and receive a confirmation email only telling them that they have completed the enrollment. But what happens then is we actually submit that enrollment to the utility.
Hey, Vince.
And make sure.
Vince,
I'm sorry.
who do you know that knows their number by heart?
You know what? Believe it or not, I know a lot of numbers by heart. The only thing that I have forgotten in the past years is everyone's phone number because it's in my phone.
I think some of the utilities use a phone number as the account number.
Really?
But that's kind of the
Oh, my
exception.
goodness, because mine's a mile long. That's how anybody. Anyway, never mind.
Yeah, that's why I said make sure that you have your copy of your bill. But anyway, so after the confirmation, we submit that enrollment to the utility to make sure that you didn't fat finger anything. And that as long as you're in good standing, everything comes through, they'll go ahead and honor the switch. Once that happens, your customers will receive a welcome email from Xoom Energy, letting them know that everything went through properly, and they'll give them an actual flow start date with Xoom Energy. It's simple as that, and the enrollment process literally takes about 3 minutes at most. So what changes once they switch over to Xoom? First of all, the customers have a choice, whereas with their local utility, they do not have a choice. Their utility will go ahead and give them a price, and they cannot switch. They have to go ahead and just pay whatever comes in. With switching over to Xoom Energy, they will have choices with Xoom Energy. As far as billing, in most markets, the customers will receive one bill with just a line item of who supplies their supply portion, which would be Xoom Energy. In Texas and Georgia, we actually bill the customers, and we put the utility charges on our bill and submit those to the customers in Texas and Georgia. And in Southern California and SoCal Gas and San Diego Gas, the customers will actually receive two bills, one bill from Xoom Energy for the supply portion, and one bill from the utility with the transportation charges. And that's not something that we are doing. That's something that they actually dictate to us. That's Southern California Gas Company and San Diego Gas. And what kind of plans do we have? Excuse me. I'm trying to go through this so we have some time for some questions. So we do have, for those budget conscious or price stability, as I mentioned earlier, we do have our fixed plan. We have terms from 1 year, 2 year, in some places even 3 years, like in Texas, I believe. We also have a variable product, month to month, where there's no long-term commitment there. There's no cancellation fees. Those are for those individuals, like I stated earlier, that don't want to be locked into a contract and probably just want to test the waters with Xoom Energy. We have a product for you on that. That's the month-to-month variable. For those environmentally conscious individuals, we have a clean product, a renewable product, which is 50% renewable for electricity and 100% carbon-free for natural gas. And for the pet lovers out there, we also have a charitable product. It's called Rescue Lock, where when enrolling on this, 5% of the supply portion only gets donated to PetSmart charities every single month. So you can say that you're actually helping PetSmart charities. And the last one is the questions. So here we are here. Eddie, if you want to go ahead and see if there's any chats there or Q&As or.
Yeah, we had a few and a couple of things that just came to mind when you were talking. I know you slightly touched on it, but I want to make sure that I understand. So like I'm in North Carolina and I know that we're not deregulated. And I know that you mentioned that you guys don't control it and that you've got some chatter, I guess, in Florida and somewhere else. But, you know, when will more states deregulate? Again, I know it's something you guys can't control, but, you know, is there anything on the horizon or in areas that maybe we should be looking for? I think you mentioned it. I just want to make sure to clarify it.
Well, where there's some chatter right now is in Florida and Arizona. But the way the deregulation starts is by the residents of those states, right? It's not up to you and me. In North Carolina, it would be up to you and me, Eddie, right? So I live in North Carolina. Jackie lives in North Carolina. You live in North Carolina. In order for us to go ahead and start to get some movement in North Carolina, we would have to start talking to people, get some petitions signed, get that sent over to our local congressman, who then goes up the ladder, right? Then it gets to legislation there, and then they actually vote on it, whether or not it should be put on a ballot. Is there enough chatter out there to put it on a ballot? And if once it's put on a ballot, then it's up to the rest of the people to say, hey, you know, do I want choice for my energy, or am I good with you and I? We have, and Jackie, we have Duke Energy, right? So, and that's it. You know, we can't choose anybody else. But that's how it starts with the deregulation.
And one of the other one of the other questions was, when can we sign up our customers? Well, you can do so right now. And again, your customers would go to your shop.com portal. You can just type in the search Xoom or Xoom Energy, and you'll get to the landing page. You can share that link as well with them. Just make sure that you're logged in. For unfranchised owners, they can sign up on either shop or unfranchise.
Just be sure to spell that with an X, not a Z, because there's another Zoom.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Thank you.
But I mean, this really is just a part of the whole shopping annuity. We really need to understand that this is a part of converting our spending to earning. We're all spending money on electricity and gas. And if we can do it, it makes sense to convert part of that spending and earning that pays us as individually, and through our team, can benefit the whole team by earning IBV on that whole process. And so it really is supporting the metaphor that we're trying to build with our business. And so it's a great way to be a product by using the service.
And just one thing I want to point out is as customers renew their plans, you guys continue to get paid on those customers. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind too. And for the renewal process, Xoom takes care of that. So we'll reach out to your customer, we'll send emails reminding them they're up for renewal. They can go on the website, renew their plan. And as long as they continue to be a Xoom customer, you guys will get paid.
That's the beauty of it right there, is that they don't have to continue to keep coming back. Which, Shop has wonderful products. I've gone through that and it's amazing. And, with the energy thing there, you enroll once and you're done, right? And then Xoom kind of takes it from there. As Jackie mentioned, we'll handle all the renewal processes and make sure that your customer, we give the best service to your customer so they continue to stay with Xoom Energy and you continue to go ahead and earn.
It's an automatic auto ship. And so that really benefits us entirely, both the customer
That's for sure.
and us.
Oh my God.
On it.
If you think about what JR put together in 1991, 90, this is what his whole concept. So if you're a large organization or you build a large organization, everyone gets into the Xoom program, you're getting 6% all the way down. It's not like you just get 6% on the people that you sell. If you have an organization of 500 people, you're getting 6% of 500. If they're all in the accredited states, that can do it. And I think that's what everyone on the call has to understand, is that we're sitting in really the catbird seat here, just waiting for this to happen. And as long as we're signed up and we get our original people into the program, it becomes incredible just based on this alone. Right, Eddie?
Yep, that's right. Thank you, Lou.
Yeah. It takes exposure, Lou, right? And I think you and I talked about that even before, where it needs to get out there so more UFOs know about it. They know exactly where they need to go to get accredited. And yes, I know I said, you do it one time and you're done. I know that in Connecticut and Illinois, it's a little confusing there, but that's only for those two states. But once you get accredited, then you're kind of free to go ahead and market to your individuals, right? We all have our friends and family that we love, that we've helped out in the past. Now you reach out to them and have them help you, right? You're asking them to enroll in a service that they use every single day. You wake up in the morning, you turn the lights on, you turn the shower on, warm water, etc. Right, and the day goes on. Yes,
I have a
sir.
question, Vince. One more question for you. How about incentives? Have you and Jackie worked out anything as far as incentives for a new person enrolling in the program? Because we talked about this, and
Yes.
Can Zoom come up with something for the?
Yes, matter of fact, we're still in talks with that. As a matter of fact, with Eddie, and we will definitely have something coming up here shortly. When exactly? It's
Sooner than later.
yes, it'll be sooner than later. Thank you.
That's always good. Thanks, Jackie.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Russell.
Yeah, it's all just very exciting. I mean, I'm enjoying that when I see my electric bill. I mean, I don't enjoy paying it, but I do enjoy knowing that there's also going to be a little bonus that comes back to us in IBV. And we just bought a car that plugs in, so I feel great about that.
There
So
you
go.
using a little more electricity, but that's okay. It's coming back to us.
Yeah, it'll turn a little faster now, that meter.
The meter.
But yeah. And again, I think, the individuals that are on right now, Stephen, Lou, Russell, it's all about, again, it's exposure. We need to get the Xoom brand out there. I mean, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of UFOs out there, right? And how many thousands of them live in the deregulated states and markets that we're in? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands, right? So we need to get that Xoom name out there, get them accredited, have them go ahead and reach out to their friends and family. It's a service you use every single day, right? Trust me on that one. And we've seen it with other partners that we have, where they start off kind of a little slow, but once the concept kind of sinks in, it's like a volcano exploding, right? So just get out there and get that Xoom Energy name out. Get some light under it and above it.
And
We are
actually,
running-
it's
Yeah,
one of
we
the
are
fast.
running close to. Sorry,
We can't hear you.
sounded a little-
Yeah.
We are running a little short on time here, so we're gonna probably need to wrap it up. I did.
Okay.
I will export the chat. We'll go through it. I had a few people in the chat going to reach out to me directly tomorrow. But I want to thank all of our hosts and our panelists, Xoom Energy, Russell, Stephen, Lou. Thank you for attending. I really appreciate it. And all unfranchised owners that took their time out this evening to join us to learn more about Xoom Energy and the partnership with shop.com. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for putting it on.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
Thanks
so
for having
much.
us.